Hey guys, Brown's thoughts here on the Off the Mic Sports Network. Bringing it back here, we're about a month away from the NFL draft. We had some big quarterback news. The New York Giants, for the second time in a week, signed a veteran, now I guess you could call journeyman quarterback. They signed Russell Wilson just about a week after they signed Jameis Winston. This leads me to believe a couple things, and it's obviously about the Browns because the Browns are picking second, the Giants are picking third. One of two things is going on here. Number one, the Giants are convinced that Shedeur Sanders is going number two, whether that is to the Browns or whoever, whatever. I'll get to that in a second. Or they're convinced that he ain't worth the number three pick, and they're content with building a veteran quarterback room. The fact that this happened is a completely separate issue because I think this is a disaster waiting to happen for the Giants. You have Jameis Winston, who I love to death. I think he is a quote machine and a very inspiring individual in terms of the way he lifts a locker room. He's had some issues in the past. The guy's also a turnover machine. So he's not going to take care of the ball and it's just going to be like this recipe for disaster. It'll be fun, but I don't think it's going to help the Giants win any games. And Russell Wilson, he was good early after coming back from that injury with the Steelers. And then, he ends up, just falling off the face of the earth at the end of the year. I think they lost a bunch of games. I forgot how many in a row that they lost. And he was a big reason why he couldn't hang on to the ball either. So are they going to take a rookie quarterback later on in the draft? I don't know. But we'll talk about that more in another video or maybe at another time about what the hell is going on with the Giants. But the big story here is the Cleveland Browns, because I don't know what the hell is going to happen here at number two. There is a lot of different ways. And if you pay attention to the Browns fan base, it's all over the place. I want Shedeur. I want this because one thing is for certain. I will tell you with absolute certainty. Cam Ward is going number one overall. Cam Ward is going to be the number one pick, whether that is to Tennessee or whoever. And it feels like right now, gun to my head, about a month away from the draft, I think Cam Ward is going to be the next quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. I think they've went through all of their due diligence. They were at his pro day. They took him out to dinner. There was so much shit that went into this that leads me to believe that the Tennessee Titans at number one overall, who desperately needing a quarterback, are going to take Cam Ward. And that's going to leave the Browns at number two with a decision to make. Do they take Shedeur Sanders? Do they take Travis Hunter? Do they take Abdul Carter? Do they trade back? Do they stay there and take somebody else, which would certainly, be a choice? Because the three options that I see at that spot are those three. And the worst of those three is taking Shedeur Sanders. If you guys have paid attention to anything that I have said since the end of the season and since this draft process began, taking Shedeur Sanders is a disaster waiting to happen. And it feels like a massive overcorrection for the Browns picking the wrong quarterback 3 years ago. When they had Baker Mayfield on their roster, they had burned that bridge. They needed a quarterback, and they went all in on Deshaun Watson, and it went horribly, horribly wrong. And they are still paying the price for that. So you want to go for the first rookie that you see. Cam Ward, I would be fine with if they were going to be able to take him at number two. That's not going to happen. That does not mean that you need to take a quarterback who I feel maybe if you took him 10 through 20, I would be fine with it. I'm still a little bit uncomfortable. He's got some baggage. The family makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And listen, I don't see anything wow about him that makes him jump off the page and say to me, man, we've got to go take him number two. And my fear is with what happened with Russell Wilson going to the Giants and the Giants basically, waving the white flag and saying, hey, we're loading up on veteran quarterbacks. We're not getting Aaron Rodgers. So let's go get Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson to fill out our quarterback room. I mean, this team had Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, and Drew Lock last year. So this can't be much better or much worse. I don't know. But I really fear that the Cleveland Browns are going to take Shedeur Sanders in a month at number two in the NFL draft. And I'm here to tell you, you Browns fans in the chat, you Browns fans who subscribe to the channel may want to disagree with me. I think the gap is significant from Cam Ward to Shedeur Sanders, or some people have Jackson Dart as the second best quarterback in this draft. I I do not think that it is worth it to put a premium pick on a quarterback in this draft when Cam Ward, let's call it what it is. Cam Ward is far and away the best quarterback in this draft. He's still not even close to the guys that were taken the last 2 years. That's how bad this draft class is, okay? That's how bad this draft class is. Like you can't you can't just compound a mistake that you made by making, in my eyes, another mistake. And I fear that the Browns are going to do it. I hate this idea. I hate the way that this looks because, like I said, one of two things is happening. The Giants either know that at number 2, Shedeur is going number 2. So I hope to God that it's the Browns trading out and some desperate team coming up to get him, or it is, the Giants just don't think he's good enough. And, hey, maybe the Browns are not taking him either. And they got intel on that as well. I don't know. I really don't know what this means. There's a lot of different ways that this can go, but based off the optics and based off everything that you've seen a month away from the NFL draft in Green Bay, I really think that there is a strong possibility that Shedeur Sanders is going to be the next quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. I just hate that idea. You can kill me in the comments on this saying that I don't. Guys, I have seen better quarterback prospects come through this town, come through Cleveland, and flame out. You guys remember Tim Couch? Everybody knocks on Tim Couch, okay? Tim Couch was a great quarterback prospect, okay? In a loaded quarterback class. He was just set up to fail. And you could say, well, Mike, they'll maybe set him up to be a success. Guys, what is there to look forward to next year? What is there to look forward to? Yeah, we got Jerry Jeudy, who had a nice season. We're finally going back to Kevin Stefanski's offense. We shuffled people in the staff. We're going to potentially get some new offensive linemen, although that's another thing that they need to worry about in this draft. Guys, let's get real here. The Browns are not winning this division, and they're probably not making the playoffs. Because you look up at who they have in their division. Because I'm assuming the Steelers are going to get Aaron Rodgers. I'm assuming that that's going to happen. So if you look at the division the way it is, you already have Joe Burrow, who could have won the MVP last year, but his team didn't make the playoffs because his defense sucks. And then Lamar Jackson, who very easily could have 3 MVPs already. He lost out barely to Josh Allen. He's won 2 MVPs already. Okay? This Browns team is much closer to what they were in 2024 than what they were in 2023 because Joe Flacco saved this organization. Hell, I would tell you this, get Joe Flacco and just, have him run this thing for a year. Take Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter at number 2 and move or trade out and move the fuck on. Shedeur Sanders is not rescuing this franchise, okay? I'm telling you, it's not a good idea. And just because you decided, hey, we need to panic and move on. And I understand that there's some people within that front office that are really not playing, but they're protecting their own jobs. And they know, hey, optically getting a quarterback would be better. Guys, let me ask you this. What good does taking Shedeur Sanders in the first year of a 5-year rookie contract when you still have Patrick Mahomes, you still have Josh Allen, you still have all these quarterbacks in front of you? You're not winning right away. Build this thing up. You still have to figure out the Deshaun Watson and how to navigate that thing. Do not compound this by making another mistake and taking Shedeur. And I fear with what has happened here, that is an indication from the Giants that they think he's going number 2. And I hope to God that it's not the Cleveland Browns that are making that pick because that is a terrible, terrible idea. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.